what was putting us in need of this minister and the government.
Everybody access to our money we put in the bank. As always said, there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe that is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
Good morning and welcome to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. Today on Open Conversation, we look at the stories. First, Rivers State. Court refuses PDP faction's ex parte motion. On Edo State, steer clear of NLC, Ajero warns Obeblo. On PDP crisis, Board of Trustee asks North Central to produce national chair. Still on PDP, Board of Trustee resolves to meet Wike over party crisis. And on politics, 4 Labour Party rep members defect to APC. And on alleged defamation, Damagum Ayawu threatened to sue Adeyanju. We're open for advert placements, bookings and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go away.
What was putting us in need of this minister and the government.
Everybody access to our money we put in the bank. As always said, there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe that is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act, I call for critical beliefs of this minister and the
I've always said there are two sides of people: the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are? Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act, I call for critical beliefs of this minister and the
I've always said there are two sides of people: the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. Your propagandists are proper critical to lead of this minister and cabinet.
Give us access to our money As always said, there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Honorable Kingsley Akumefule, a political analyst. Good morning, Honorable Kingsley, and welcome.
Good morning, Laresha. Good morning, Nigeria.
And on to the story. River State High Court, sitting in Port Harcourt, has declined an ex parte application filed by Edwin Woko, Nelson Dike, and two others seeking to restrain the chairman of the People's Democratic Party in River State, Aaron Chukwuemeka, along with other members of the state executive from parading themselves as party leaders. Presiding over the matter, Justice Stephen Jumbo refused to grant the ex parte motion, directing the plaintiffs to serve notice on Chukwuemeka, the PDP national chairman, and other parties involved. The judge instructed the respondents to appear before the court to justify why the motion should not be granted. The case was adjourned to December 10, 2024 for a hearing on the substantive motion. Addressing journalists after the court session, counsel for the plaintiffs, Bruno Mberi, provided insights into the court proceedings, emphasizing the legal basis for the application. In an interview with press, Godwin Woko, one of the plaintiffs, alleged that PDP stakeholders and principal members in River State had on September 28 inaugurated an interim leadership structure with him at the helm of affairs. This group, comprising of himself, Aaron Morris, Nelson Ndubisi, and Yebuchi Dike, was reportedly set up to act as the party's interim leaders until an inclusive Congress is held, following the expiration of the tenure of Chukwuemeka-led executive. Woko further claimed that the Congress that produced Chukwuemeka and his executive committee was conducted in violation of an existing court order, rendering it illegal. He said, our application before Honorable Justice Jumbo is explicit. We are going to the court to restrain Honorable Chukwuemeka Aaron and his co-travelers from parading themselves forthwith as ESCOs or executives of River State PDP. That my own ESCO, Edwin Woko, we are the valid, authentic ESCO members of the River State PDP. So we are praying that Aaron Chukwuemeka and his co-travelers, having completed their 4 years tenure, they should pack their load and go and allow the party to have fresh air. Honorable Kingsley,
yes.
What do you make of this development in River State PDP?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is that the names I see there are not known to us as Rivers politicians.
All right.
Yes, I've been in politics since 1999 in this state, and I cannot point at any of those names, whether I call them DK or whatever names.
Are you a member of PDP?
I must not be a member of PDP. I was a member of PDP. PDP was our foundation here in 1999. We left PDP to the All Progressive Congress in 2014. Okay, and so the names I just had there, they're all alien. They are not known to Rivers politics. That's on one hand. On the second hand, let me very sincerely thank Justice Jumbo for this great faith, because before now, you don't even hear anything about injunctions. People will just get to the court, pay money, before the case won't be heard, they just pronounce an interlocutory injunction. But in this one, he insisted that they should be served. You understand what I'm saying? And that's kudos to him. Let me, wherever you are, let me thank you, Justice Jumbo, for this great feat. You've done noble. Cases should be heard. People should make their positions in every matter before decisions are reached. Interlocutory injunctions are not things people will just come overnight. You buy like you went to a supermarket or a shopping mall, you got a product that you want to buy and they just announced. No. First, Chukwuemeka Aaron and his ESCOs were elected in a Congress in this state. And this matter, I know, is sub judice. This matter has been pending in court before now because they claimed that there was a court order stopping the congresses. And before that order came, the process of election had begun. Election, as you know, is a process. So if a process has already started, stopping that process halfway, for me, is not constitutional. It's not right. And so that was the reason why PDP had to continue in that process and conducted their congresses. And I know that the other party went to court, and that matter is yet pending in court. So these other persons who now came up yesterday and want to, stop the clock of that's wrong. I don't think it's right. So whatever it is, Chukwuemeka Aaron and his executives are the one I know as a Rivers politician that are the executives.
But the thing is that you know that the PDP Congress that held sometime, I think in September, there was a court order stopping that Congress, but PDP went ahead with that Congress. What do you have to say to
the
that?
matter is sub judice, like I said. And so I think that people should allow that. The order did not stop Chukwuemeka and co. from operating as executives of PDP. The order was the Congress should not hold. And there was a court order even before the order that said they shouldn't hold the Congresses. And remember, the process of electioneering doesn't just start the day the Congresses are held. It's a process. From the time the publications were made to the time forms were purchased, time forms were processed, names were shortlisted. Those are the processes of an election. And if you did not stop an election from the beginning and you stop it halfway, you didn't stop an election. Because election is a process. The moment that process had kicked off, it had to end. And so whatever you want to do within that period, you should wait for the court to take decisions. And the court has not taken decisions. Few persons just came up yesterday.
The court said there was an injunction that said stop the Congress.
That injunction came halfway the process of the election.
So because it
That's
came
what I'm
halfway,
saying.
has the Congress held at that point?
And the matter is still sub judice.
Hold on. Has the Congress, the PDP Congress, has it happened at that point in time?
A Congress is not what you just see that particular day where they vote. A Congress is a process.
That's what I'm saying.
Just like an election.
There is a process.
Good.
But it has not culminated to the physical vote
That
itself.
is it. From the time the processes of obtaining forms, publication of names, and all those processes, screening, they are all processes of an election.
You are saying the same
and
thing.
the moment these things have begun,
and if the court says halt the process,
you halt when you have already started the process. At the end, the case is already in court. They should finish that matter
PDP
in
is
court.
not in contempt of.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. It is only the court that will say so, and the court has not pronounced so yet.
All right, very well. Also joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Daniel Momo, a political analyst. Good morning, Daniel, and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right, Daniel. Now, what do you make of this development in Rivers State PDP?
Okay, regarding the ex parte order.
Yes.
I think it is what they call the hallelujah in a church victory. First, I think I quickly searched something when I saw that story. I searched and noticed that I think this is the first time in about 10 years where ex parte order
was being rejected
to be granted and say put those people. See, we have said these things here before, and I have said, look, these things are not injurious. It's not something
There's
that
no urgency to the matter.
Grant it today, heaven will fall. So why grant things like this? And I quickly searched the person's name, and I was wondering, has this person been involved? And so what came to me was that, well, it could be a born again. It could have been born again because it was the same person who granted the ex parte order when he became the speaker for the River State. So I am happy. Not happy regarding the judgment or anything. No. I think that it will be fair if you take me to court. I should not hear that a judgment or somebody who didn't participate in a congress should now oversee the affairs of that party.
Okay.
How does that happen? We are saying that, look, like the program I had this morning, politics produces governance.
And these are all the processes till we get to an elections. And bringing people who never participated in that process to now govern a party is abominable. And so for me, I am happy in terms of governance, in terms of party politics, in terms of being fair to the other party. I celebrate that the
expected motion was not granted.
No, bring these people, give them time to come before me and now show to me that this thing, this person's or this body sick, I should not grant it. That is good. That should be something that you should always encourage. We should encourage such. And I think for me, like I said, it's the hallelujah in church victory. You don't just imagine somebody who went to a congress, go through the whole processes, and wakes up one morning and heard that the court has removed him.
Now, the argument they have, Daniel, is that, you know, there was a court order barring PDP from holding congresses in Rivers State, barring PDP Rivers State Congress from holding.
Okay.
However, PDP went ahead with that Congress. Now, they are now saying that they do not recognize that Congress because there was a court order barring that from happening. And they are of the argument that Aaron Chukwemeka's tenure had expired. Now, the PDP Congress that they went into was the court asked it to stop, so the PDP Congress was not valid in their own opinion. And then they are also saying that there was they were elected as interim leaders, interim executives, pending when the Congress would now happen. So apparently PDP is factionalized. And when was this? The question now is, when did this interim election happen?
No, see, first.
And then the fact that PDP went ahead with the courts, with the Congress defying court order. You can't sweep that under the carpet, Daniel, can you?
Okay, let's put it this way from what you are saying.
Yes.
If PDP disobeyed court order, so was it in their own position to make themselves interim? Who makes them interim?
They said they were elected.
Where?
Well, that's what
Where? No, see, let's stop making this thing look like it's a court activity. No, if PDP had actually disobeyed court order, the court is there. Go back to the same court and say, Your Lordship, these persons who you asked to stop this thing disobeyed that order and went ahead with the Congress. Then the judge would give a judgment that it felt that if truly, and for example, that is the court of first instance. And so why rush to another court?
No, the prayers are different.
No, see.
They are not challenging.
The origin is
they
the
are
same
not challenging.
thing. No,
yeah, the origin.
No,
yes.
no, the origin is the same. Go back to the same court. That, sir, your orders were violated by PDP Rivers State. And then allow the judge decide. But don't go to a place and purchase and try to get a Jankara judgment. So if PDP disobeyed order, so you are the person who will now become the interim chairman. How? Where? How does that happen? So why are we making it look like it's a body, as the PDP National said otherwise? We knew what happened in the APC. And it was clear. The PDP National made a statement that we do not recognize these persons.
The APC National,
forgive
not
me.
PDP.
The APC National made a statement. We do not recognize these persons. From the beginning, who elected you, caretaker committee? Why are we making the process look like we are not the serious persons?
And how come the PDP National did not have a hand in that?
You said you were elected a caretaker. Okay, let's even give that. So you now rush to court. If you think that, so you want the court to validate the illegality you have done somewhere. No, come on. This is an association of people. We should not in any way allow such things to happen. If PDP has disobeyed court order, can those who put PDP on that notice go back to the same court and ask that the court make pronouncement for disobeying that order? That punishment can be made. There are names of people, including the chairman of the PDP, can be made to come to the court to ask that why was the judge order disobeyed. It is not for somebody to now rush to another court and then you now make the whole thing. That's what happened in River State. You make this River
Congress has called on the newly elected state Monday Obeblo and the state police command to refrain from interfering in the internal labor affairs of his council, stating that it is too early to engage in conflicts with trade union. The NLC made this appeal in a statement signed by its president, Comrade Joe Ajero, and made available to journalists in Abuja on Thursday evening. The statement partly reads, "We are disturbed by a recorded incident of unauthorized and illegal breaking and entry into the offices of the Edo State Council of the Nigerian Labour Congress by some personnel of Edo State Police Command. The incident occurred in Benin City during the absence of the chairperson of the Edo State Council of the NLC, who is currently attending the annual Hamatan School in Abuja. Neither the police nor any other entity has provided an explanation for this criminal behavior, though there are speculations that the police may have acted at the behest of the new governor of Edo State, Monday Obeblo. Regardless of independently or under the governor's directive, we demand an unconditional apology and a reversal of these actions." Trade unions are protected by law. Under no circumstances should their affairs be interfered with by the state or any entity, nor should they be forcefully brought under the control of any other authority. Acts of intimidation against trade unions or their leaders are equally unacceptable, as they not only violate trade union and human rights, but also pose a threat to our hard-won democracy. In light of these developments, the governor is advised to steer clear of labor matters in the state. As a newly elected governor, he should focus more on pressing priorities. It would be unfortunate to think that authorizing the harassment of trade union leaders is one of them. Addressing the death of the Congress stated, "We join trade unions, civil society allies, and patriotic Nigerians immediate arrest and prosecution of the police officers responsible for the death of Comrade Kaduna Eboidobin, the former NLC State Council chairman in Edo State. The explanation provided by the officers involved in this heinous crime is not only lame and ridiculous, but also an insult to our collective intelligence. Nothing short of the immediate arrest, detention, and prosecution for murder of the officers involved will suffice." Daniel,
yeah.
What do you make of this development? This is your state right now.
Yes, first, may the soul of Kaduna rest in peace. He's an intellectual. He's someone that he fights for the downtrodden. And unfortunately, he lost his life during that altercation with the Nigerian police. Regarding the checking of his paper, his card documents. But the unfortunate thing about the Nigerian police was that they fled the scene instead of rescuing him at that time. When he fell, he was with his wife. And I think that is very unfortunate. It should never have happened. The police is not just for security. When life, they also help too. And so they left him. And unfortunately, he died. Again, I think what the NLC is saying for me, assumption, they say, is the lowest level of knowledge. You don't assume. You're assuming that the governor had said, come on, assumption is the lowest level of knowledge. Anyone can assume anything. It is not right, whether they are trade union or not. The Constitution grants the freedom to associate. And in breaking into the NLC offices, it doesn't make any sense. How? Explain it. If you are told there's any infraction or anything, I think invited them or you serve them or anything. But breaking into the office to look for what? Even as at yesterday night, not a single message from the Nigerian police, whether at the state level or at the headquarters, saying this is why the Nigerian police did what they did. And so he smacks, for me, it's a replication of what happened at the NLC national headquarters, where the Nigerian police broke into their offices. Why on earth would you do that? And so for me, again, the state government also have to come out to dissociate itself, that they do not have a hand in what has happened. But if they do, that would be very unfortunate. And I thought the same NLC hailed the governor when he reinstated the workers that were previously disengaged in Bruce Ali University. So today again we now have that the state government had to make a categorical statement on where they stand on this issue, and the Nigerian police had to explain to Nigerians and the NC in Edo State why the offices were broken into, and it should be immediate. But I think that NSC nationals should also tread with caution. Let's at this stage not assume that the state government had a hand in it. Long before now, Edo State had done with their issue of minimum wage, and they have been paying the issue of the minimum wage since May, since the tenure of His Excellency Governor Obaseki. So I don't think the Edo State government and the NLC had this dispute about labor wages, about anything. No, not to the best of my knowledge.
So this appears to be coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. So that's why the need for a proper press release stating why that offices were invaded by the Nigerian police. That office. Why? If there are issues, invite them. They have a known address. They have everything. The chairman is known and all. And so it should not happen. And so the state where it happened, the state government also have to issue a statement clarifying what they know about it.
Right. Honorable Akumefile, what do you make of this story?
Yeah, what I think I have to say on this matter is that Comrade Joe Ajero has always been immersed with politics. Since I know Joe Ajero, you remember he was one who divided Labour into two. He factionalized Labour in the quest to becoming the national chairman of NLC. And at the end of the day, he finally became the chairman. Since he became chairman, he has been immersed with different political cases. Unionism is not politics. You can play the politics within the ambits of unions, but extending your to the secular politics, for me, I think is very, very wrong. I've been a unionist. I've been playing unionism from school to National Youth Council and all that. I've always known that unionism is not about secular politics. But look at this young man. Last time he was beaten to the point where he was even rushed to the hospital and all that. Today again, we are accusing a governor who was just sworn in yesterday. And I'm not from Edo State, but from information available to us, we've seen that from the first day this young man was sworn in till now, he's been working, and Edo people have been commending him. You see him on the streets everywhere. And for you to now wake up or rise any time you like to begin to accuse people, like you said, why would you be accusing a governor for bringing a police to come and invade your office? If there's anything they are doing in secrecy in that office, they should tell us what they are doing. Because police cannot wake up one day and begin to go to invade with any information to work with. Of course, you know, security matters are not things you bring to the public. If there were some security information there in this matter that will say exactly the reason for which they went to their office, not even the governor. What is the relation with the governor and the union? If this someone is making an allegation against the governor, I don't even think the governor has what it takes to. Why would the governor respond to him? The moment you begin to respond to him, you make it a matter, and that's exactly what he's looking for. There's no reason for that, as far as I am concerned. The union in Edo State should look inwards and know what's happening to them and deal with this matter between them and the Nigerian police, not involving a young man who was just sworn in yesterday and is working for the good and betterment of the people of Edo State.
All right. So. Okay. Now, from what Daniel has said, Daniel made a statement. There is need for the governor's office disclaimer that has been made, and Ajero has gone ahead to even take a swipe at the governor. Did he take a swipe? And he told him that it's early to engage in crisis with the labor, with trade union. That statement on its own has some elements of threats, you know, underlying it. That's on one hand. And then he's now warning the governor, stay clear of Nigerian Labour Union Congress. Now, by that statement, he has clearly tied to, and he said the police acted on the behest of the governor. Now, Daniel made an observation. He said that the governor at this point needs, there must be a disclaimer coming from the office of the governor disassociating the governor from this act. You know, that is if the governor is not involved. If the governor is involved, the governor should come out and say, okay, this is the reason why this happened. The police, on the other hand, ought to come out and explain to Edo people and Nigerians why there was breaking and entry in the NLC. Think that should happen?
I think that the only person that should say anything in this matter is Nigerian police. I don't have any reason for which the governor should come to say anything. You see, most times when we respond to some certain issues, we begin to linger those matters, we make them more public. Not every information that you see is heard by everybody. Not even those who hear those information understand that information the way it is. And not everybody who even understands it will take it to the way you think the matter is. So most times, the moment we begin to overcarry information, we make it viral and it becomes an issue. The governor, as far as I'm concerned, should not respond to that matter. Not even his aides should respond to that matter. As far as he has no reason, nothing to relating him to that matter, he shouldn't respond to it. Except, because I'm not speaking for the governor, except if he has a knowledge of what happens. It is only on that condition.
There are allegations. You
can allege. What is the allegation?
It means that you're culpable.
No, it's not true. See, in politics, it's not everything you respond to, especially when it is coming from somebody that you don't need to respond to. There are persons that will say this matter, and I would oblige the governor to respond. In this matter, he shouldn't respond. If you respond to everything in politics, you make yourself very cheap. Why would the governor respond to matters of a labor union when he has nothing